Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings, Amane's Route, episode 12. And I'm sure this will be the last episode in Amane's Route because Amane has finally achieved the goal that she's been going for after all these years and repeating as a student at Keifu Academy for many years. So that is to go through the morning glory clouds. And it was a promise that she made with Isuka many years ago. And it's all thanks to Aoi. So before Amane went to the morning glory clouds, she got reminded about all these memories that she had with Isuka. And she kind of remembers about how Isuka brought color to her life. And then why Amane lost color when Isuka suddenly disappeared. So also, you see that Ageha has gotten a phone call from someone, and it's quite urgent, and Ageha wants to quickly let Amane and Aoi know about this. So let's see what the phone call is, and why it's so important that it would get Ageha all anxious. So Ageha's like, so Ageha's voice rang out through the wireless radio. She seems to be panicking about something. Oh yeah, so this is Aoi. I can hear you, so what's wrong? So where are you? Oh, so we're near an island. I was just thinking about heading back. So we spent enough time at the Morning Glory and allowed Amane to have enough memories about this. So this huge lake is dotted with islands. Okay, so that's good. So what is it? So what happened? Oh, so when you descend, can you stop by the big bridge? Okay, I can, but so what's the point? So there's Anchan. Oh, wait, Anchan is so I was a bit of skeptical, but I follow Ageha's instructions, so I'll just do it. So another major point in episode 11 was that Amane still kind of felt skeptical about Isuka when she wrote that letter. It's like, well, maybe Isuka was lying and she was keeping me in. But then I was like, well, there will be no point of Isuka keeping that letter for you. And I do feel that she's not lying, and she really wanted you to continue the dream that she possibly won't be able to do in her lifetime. So anyways, I dove beneath the morning glory and headed towards the Big Ripple Bridge. So the Big Ripple Bridge is the really long bridge that crosses the huge lake. And it looks like a wave connecting the islands, the dot, the middle of the lake. So it's well known not only for the beauty of that view, but also because it's a shortcut to Tokyo. Okay. So it's coming into view. So the Big Ripple Bridge. And with dawn just beginning, there was almost no cars on the bridge. So she said Anchan is over there, but I fly around and try to find something that looks like him, but from this height I can't make out much. So should we go over there then? Or should we descend? I dropped our altitude and got closer to the bridge. Okay, so you see Tatsuya, Anchan here. Wait, is that it?
Oi! Aoi!
Okay, so near the entrance of the bridge, I could barely make out a small parked truck. So that must be Anchan's truck. And the silhouette next to it, that must be Anchan. And then next to him is... Wait, So there's a girl. She was so small, it was hard to see, but she didn't seem to be someone that I know. So what about for Amane? So Amane suddenly opens her eyes wide. And then with her hand on the canopy, she started to stare at the girl. So please descend. Oh, I'm trying. I got us as low as possible while still having enough altitude to get back to the runway. Huh? Wait, so is that Isuka? Okay, so Isuka is here. And it turns out she's still alive. So Isuka's asking, hey, so is that Amane?
ああ、乗ってる。操縦してるのは葵だ。
Yeah, so she's up in that glider, and Aoi's the one who's piloting. So Aoi-kun.
さっき言ってた五十嵐くんの弟みたいな子
So,
ああ、
yep.
グライダー完成したんだね
Oh, so the glider is finished.
Amaneが残した設計図をもとにあいつらが作っちまった。
Yeah, so Amane had a new crew, and they put this glider together, and it was based on Amane's design.
ちゃんと伝統として受け継がれてるよ。バカで無茶なところが。
So it's kind of like passing it on.
そうなんだ
電話つながるかな。
もしもし
Okay, so Tatsuya calls Amane.
もしもし、Amaneか？俺だ、達也だ。
達也君の隣にいる人は
イスカだ。
So the person next to me is Isuka.
さっき無理言って来てもらった。今変わる。
Okay, so I'll give my phone to her. Okay, so what is Isuka going to say to Amane?
あまね飛んだんだね僕らのグライダー飛んだ私の力じゃ無理だったけど葵くんたちが飛ばせてくれた後輩をちゃんと育てるなんてあんたらしくもない何をしているんだ彼らを連れてきたのは君なのに
But it was you who brought all of them here.
僕ああ君がトビーウォソーに残したフライトログを読んでそれで来てくれたんだガレージへ、はあ、君の思いはちゃんと届いてたぞ鋼小鳥っていう女の子に
So it was Kotori who continued this. So she read your flight log, she was interested, and she kind of pulled all of us back in.
そうなんだどうだった雲の上から見る景色は言う通りだった感動したしないはずなかったいつかの空は美しかったよそう一緒に見たかった見ていたよここで空からじゃないけれど
It's like, well, I did see it. It's just not with you inside the glider. So I saw from ground here with Tatsuya.
でも 一緒に見てたあまねと一緒の空を約束したから。
君は嘘つきなんかじゃなかったよ。そんなはずないって私は最初から分かっていたけどな。
調子のいいこと言って。
ありがとう、イスカ。私をここへ導いてくれた。
ありがとうあまね。約束を信じてくれて。
Okay, so going back to glider, it's like, hey, Amani, I think this is at our limit, so we need enough altitude to be able to land at the runway. So I can't go any lower.
そうか、分かった。イスカ、そろそろ滑走路へ戻らないといけない。また後で会えるのかな。
So Amani nervously asks her cell phone. And then with a look of relief, she smiles from that. I knew Isuka would answer. And from the bridge, Anchan motioned with his hand towards Kazugura. So it must mean that Anchan and the others will be heading to the runway too. Understanding that, I stopped cycling and headed back towards the runway. Okay, so we'll meet each other once we're on ground.
ありがとう五十嵐くん。
何いいって。それよりあいつら戻るみたいだな。
うん。
俺たちも行こ
So let's go over there too.
もう少しだけここにいさせて。
So can I be here for a little bit before we go over there?
う。いいけど。
見ていたいの。
So I think Isuka wants to see the glider land first.
あのグライダーがこの綺麗な空を飛んでるところ、僕らの夢の翼だから。
Okay, so we're at the credits for Amai's route. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and skip this, and we'll see how the epilogue goes for Amai's route. And based on what we've seen with Isuka, it's probably going to be very interesting. So, hold on for a minute. Okay, so we're now at the epilogue for Amai's route, and I wonder what's happening. So it looks like Amai's trying to get up. Hey, so you're finally up, Amane. So if we don't start getting ready, we'll be late. What do you mean? Hey, so are you lecturing at school starting today? Oops. Hello? Says Hat. Yes, says Hat. I'm sorry, Hat. I'm in a rush. Aww. Okay. I'll give you something to eat.
野菜をあげればいいんだったな。じゃあこのレタスをあげよう。丸ごと1個だ。食べ応えがあるぞ。
Okay, says Hat.
美味しそうだな。
Okay, that's good then. Except Amane's hungry too.
私もお腹が空いてるみたいだぞ。しかしもう行かないと授業に遅刻してしまう。
But then again, I'm late for class, so
でも
and Okay, so Amaya's going to eat on the way to class.
わあわ
Okay.
あまねちゃん、どうしてた？
Well, she's sleeping, so,
やっぱりね、私が睨んだ通りだったわ。
モーニングコールしてあげてよかったじゃん、葵。
So she was a student until last year. Now that I think about it, though, she never come to class and lived on campus, was always late, and led an indifferent life.
社会性ってもんがとんでもなく欠落しているわね。
これはますますしっかり者の誰かさんがそばについててあげないとね。
But Amane is much, much more of an adult than me, so...
いいじゃない、お似合いよ。
So summer vacation has ended, and the second semester is starting. So the summer heat is still sweltering. For all intents and purposes, it is still summer. So today is the first day of Amane's special lecture, and it was called Mochizuki Sensei's debut.
昨日の夜は散々、学校で会ったらちゃんと望月先生と呼べよとか偉そうに言ってたくせに。
でもいいな、私も受けたい、望月先生の授業。
So I wonder what class Amane is going to be teaching as Mochizuki Sensei's class. Well, for me, I'll pass.
どうして？
Why not? I don't know. I just think I would get too excited.
言えてる。
And some favoritism.
そうかも。
So several days have passed since the day when we rode the Morning Glory. And the dream's excitement gradually faded away. And we were finally getting settled back into everyday life.
ところでさ、ガレージのことだけど。
いいんじゃない？移転先はあるわけだし。
So what's happening to the garage? Yeah, I think I'll be okay. Okay, so going back to the garage, it's like, okay, I knew you're here.
いや、
So I peeked into the garage this afternoon. There was Amane, Mochizuki Sensei. Hello, Mochizuki Sensei.
そうだぞ、先生なんだぞ。
So Amane puffs up her chest and gets all cocky. And no matter how you look at it, it seems that Amane likes her new Sensei title. And it's because it sounded adult. If she wanted to, she had already a mountain of titles and achievements she could brag about. So how did it go your first class? So all of a sudden, Amane lost her energy and looked weary. So it must have been really tough.
散々だった。緊張してうまく喋れなかったんだ。
I see.
抜けに遅刻した。
And that's no surprise. Wait, what? Hey, didn't I give you a wake-up call?
だってハットがお腹空いたって言うんだ。
So she was feeding Hat. And... so that guy's a greedy little eater. But you can't carelessly feed him outside of feeding time or he'll get fat.
でも空腹なものの気持ちはわかるからな。
And once again, she is hungry. So my stomach growled. Well, that's what I thought. Okay, here. So I set down a huge lunchbox on the desk. Oh, for me? Go ahead. So eat up, Mochizuki Sensei.
いただきます。
So she must have been really hungry because she cheerfully unwrapped it, took it out, and started eating right away. and she's eating crazy. Hey, and so if you weren't that hungry, you should have gone somewhere to get something to eat. And what were you doing here?
懐かしんでたんだ。もうすぐここを離れるんだろ？
Yeah, well, it looks that way. So I dropped the tone of my voice to answer. So talking with the school, we decided to vacate the garage. However, it's not like we're just thrown out. So what's happening? So why did they ask to leave? So we flew on the Morning Glory not so long ago, and the school thinks it's a really high sense of achievement. So we got them to guarantee to treat us better as a school club too. It's just that with the remodeling of the school, the garage is going to be in the way, so they provided building a garage somewhere else, or they proposed. And once they said that, we couldn't help but leave. But then again, it's like, well, I'm sure the new garage will be much, much better than this one. This one's been sitting for many years and it's probably unsafe for students. So us wanting to cherish our memories here is just being selfish. Well, I'm kind of sorry.
いいんじゃないか？ここはもう必要ない。
Well, you came in here to think about the past, but you're pretty nonchalant about it, aren't you?
だってこのガレージはもう役目を果たした。
That's true. So, wait, roll? Amane nods.
私たちの夢の拠点としての役目をな。
Well, I guess so. So already achieved its goal. In that sense, you could call it a good turning point.
でも懐かしい思い出がたくさんある。だからこうして浸りに来てたんだ。
But it's good to have a look at this place one more time before they demolish it. So saying that, Amane looks around the garage. The old-looking garage. And among the clutter and rows of things, there are a lot of small memories here. So a lot of stuff happened here. The first time I came here was the day I transferred to the school. I'm sure... Okay, so it was the first day of class, if I remember. And he was looking around for things to do after school, and he found this garage. And that's where he found Amane. So I was checking out the clubs and wandered in here. There you go. And there was a slightly strange, beautiful woman staring at the drawing board. And that's where I met Amane Mochizuki. So it's been just over a year since that day. So still or not yet? Well, either one, it feels like we've come a long way. Well, there are a lot of memories here for all of us, but you must have even more. So you've been here much longer than all of us, and you were here when Isuka was here.
ああ、そうだ。イスカたちと過ごした場所だし、葵くんや小鳥たちと出会った場所でもある。それに。
So as though she were deep in thought about those memories, Amane paused and closed her eyes.
互いへの思いを打ち明け、恋人になった場所だ。
Hey, don't say such embarrassing things out of nowhere.
そんなに恥ずかしがることなのか？私にとっては一番の思い出なんだぞ。それとも、葵くんにとってはいい思い出じゃないのか？
So is it bad? Well, it's a good memory for me too.
そう聞けて嬉しいぞ。
Okay, I'm happy to hear that, says Amane. So Amane smiled when she said that, but then she looked far off into the distance.
青春って言葉あるだろ?
So, the youth. Yes?
あれって何だと思う?
Well, you mean like, well, good memories of when you were young or something? So it's kind of a cheesy word, so I haven't really thought about it much. And I wonder if my generation is considered to be in our youth. So I probably won't really know until I've gotten much older.
私にとって多分青春って全部ここにあったんだよ。イスカや達也と過ごした日々や葵くんたちと過ごした日々。
So I wonder how many years has it been since Amane has repeated school and stayed in the garage over that drawing.
こういうのを青春って言うんだろ?
And I wonder how much Amane has missed out. Well, probably so.
だからやっぱりここは大切な場所なんだろうなと思って。
So it all seems like somebody else.
まだ私の中にそういう価値観が育ってない。ここに青春があったのかもって思ったのだってついさっきだからな。青春とは過ぎ去りし日々の追憶の中にしか存在しないのだよ、きっと。
So why are you talking like we're finished? So we'll continue our activities after the move. It's like, well, all the things that we did, or like what you wanted to do, have accomplished. And if we move to the new place, we'll continue with new goals, new ideas. So let's continue leaving behind lots of memories.
ああ、そうだな。
So, saying it so nonchalantly, Amane went back to chomping down on her lunch. Well then, so I'm going to head back to the classroom, so be sure to take the lunchbox with you. So after saying that, I made to leave, but Amane took my hand and pulled me back. And then... So, what's wrong? Okay, so she wants a kiss before Aoi leaves. Hey, so what are you doing all of a sudden?
思い出といえば、葵くんにこうしてキスされて告白されたことがあったなぁと思ってな。
So I was blushing. You know, that's a really embarrassing memory. Because I really messed that confession up.
それじゃあ、また後でな。
Well, see you later. Man, your lips even tasted like sauce that day. So I said that and quickly ran away from the garage, just like someone who can't admit defeat. So I think I didn't want to hear how Amane would respond when he mentioned, well, you have sauce. So memories are of past, and they're important, but you can't stay wrapped up in them. Because people have to look to the future to keep living. So that day, after returning to the runway, Amane reunites with Isuka. And sudden reunions are always awkward, but the feelings look away inside are the same, and they were both confused and happy at the same time. And now with Anchan acting as a go-between their relationship, it's starting again. So Anchan's being with Isuka. And things will probably be like the old times again before, or not too long. As for the much worried about Isuka's health, she said that thanks to the undivided attention given to her medical treatment, she had recovered to a level where she could lead a normal life. So she's gotten better. So the original cause of her problem was with her physical constitution. So if her constitution changes as she becomes an adult, she'll continue to get better. So okay, well, as Isuka evolves and she grows up, she's going to become much stronger and she'll be able to be more like a normal person. So a year and a half ago, when she was in the care facility, Isuka found a mysterious cloud and a glider aiming for it. And at that time, apparently, she never even thought it was Amane. And she apparently recognized the glider she had left behind and thought that somebody in the Soaring Club had carried on her dream. And she was like, well, I had no idea it was Amane who was carrying it on. And that encouraged her. She put all of her effort into her recuperation, and it motivated her to go outside again. And she wanted to leave behind those feelings for others, so she put the pictures on the wall. And what Kotori said, that Isuka wants to leave behind some proof that she was here, was right after all. Because then it got Kotori interested, and Kotori was kind of the starting point for everyone to join the Soaring Club. So Aoi and Ageha, and then later the twins. So time passes, and the promise is fulfilled. So I want to pass through the Passage of Clouds. And they took the scenic route to get there though. So the Isuka that I met on the runway had a very cheerful face. She still has some problems with her parents, but she says she wants to act positively and resolve them without running away.
止まっていた時間がやっと動き出す。
So I was impressed by that remark. By the way, so Tomioka Sensei apologized to Isuka for not giving the letter to Amane. So Isuka told him that was what he did was for the best in the end. And if he had given Amane the letter right away, she would have quit working on the glider, and the rest of us would have never come to the garage. That's true. So Isuka and Amane might never have met each other again. And also, this is even more off topic, but still. Sanchan's having a rough time trying to fulfill a long-time desire of his. And what is it? So why don't you ask her on a date?
デートか。参ったな。どうやって誘えばいいかわからんぞ。
Well, I don't know how to do that. Anchan, you've always been popular. Surely you had some experience with at least that.
それがないんだ。自分から誘ったことはな。
Well, everything except for that. I get it.
本当に好きな女の子の前だと緊張しちまうものなんだな。
So Anchan's eyes shone like a little boy when he said that. It was kind of cute.
お前すげえよ。自分から告白したんだろ？
And I was kind of impressed that you went first. I guess so. So at that time, I thought Amane was going to leave, or so I thought I had to. So if it hadn't been for that, then I would never have found the courage to tell her so easily. So what about a double date?
ダブルデート？
Oh, so me with Amane and then you with Isuka, so we could all hang out together. So would that make it easier to ask?
いいのか？それだと助かる。
That would help. Sure thing. So I'll talk to Amane about it.
なあ、頼む。
So Anchan asking me for a favor made me feel really important.
ところでお前。
So anyways,
いつまでも先輩はないんじゃないか？
well, no,
今のお前なら胸張って彼女だって言えるだろ？
It's like, well, she's not really your senpai anymore. I'm not sure if I can.
何言ってんだよ。あいつの夢を叶えてやったんだ。もっと自信持て。
Okay, I'll give it a try.
ああ、その意気だ。
I'm home, says Aoi.
おかえり。わわ。
Except for the fact that Amane is in her uniform. So as soon as I entered the front door, I was greeted by Amane wearing a schoolgirl uniform. I was so surprised that I blurted it out. Whoa. So, wait, what are you wearing?
これか？
This?
久しぶりに学校に行ったら着てみたくなってな。引っ張り出してきたんだ。
And she didn't seem embarrassed at all.
どうだ、懐かしいだろう？
So, how is it? I guess, anyways, she looks really cute and it looks really good on her. Even though she's already a grown adult. And you can see flowers around Amane.
ハット、ほらほら、おやつだぞ。
So Amane gives Hat the treat in her uniform.
学生時代に戻りたくなるな。
I think it's candy. She's serious. Wait, haven't you had enough of being a student? Aren't you proud to be a teacher now?
そうなんだけどな。
But...
でもこの制服を着ていた頃に葵くんと恋愛してみたかったなぁと。
Okay, so what did Amane say?
そうなんだけどな。でも
Okay. Amane?
なんだ？
Well, it's not a big deal. Could we, give each other nicknames? So no more senpai, no more... So it seems like, regardless of age, it's only normal for lovers to do so.
おう、それが普通ならそうするぞ、葵。
Oh, so can you call me that one more time? So, no more Aoi-kun, just call me Aoi.
しょうがないな、葵は。
Okay, Aoi. So, I wasn't used to it, but I'm really happy. So, say it one more time, Amane.
葵ばっかりずるいではないか。それにまだ敬語のままだぞ。
I'm sorry, Amane.
もう一度。
So now Amane wants Aoi to call her just Amane. Amane?
なんだこの幸せが爆発しそうな感覚は。
Amane!
葵。
Ooh, wow. And we held each other. We held each other with an energy that I didn't quite understand and kissed.
もっと早くから呼び捨てにしたかったぞ。
Well, I thought so too. I don't really think it's all that special. But for us, it was extremely special.
葵、もう一度キスがしたい。
Well, I love you, Amane.
私も葵が好きだ。
So we closed our eyes and softly pressed our lips together. And suddenly an image popped into my head of the two of us dressed in school uniforms walking side by side in a classroom on the school campus.
いつも葵のキスには頭の中を溶かされてしまいそうになるぞ。
Well then, so I'm going to kiss you again and again until you are all mushy. Really. So she's like a child. But she's also an amazing person and a senior that I admire. So, I need to become a guy worthy of her. And with that thought in mind, I was intoxicated by her kisses for a while. So a few days later, so if I remember correctly, that was actually the last H scene for Amane in her route, and I'm sure they did more than just kissing. So anyways, past that, the day to move the garage has finally come.
こことももうお別れか。なんか寂しいね。あまね先輩が戻ってきてくれて、ようやくここを取り戻したのにな。ま、しょうがないわ。これ以上のわがままは言えないもん。意外にさっぱりしてるね。あんたのことだからもっとメソメソすると思ってたのに。立ち止まってはいられない。思い出は過去にしかないんだもの。どうかなんとか言って、新しい場所の方が広くて設備いいからでしょ。ゆくゆくは世界征服を目論む小鳥団の新拠点としてはあれくらいじゃないとね。勝手に変な組織にするな。
Hey, so did you guys get your stuff yet? So I held the cardboard boxes packed with all my stuff and looked back at Ageha and Kotori, and they were wrapped up talking about some story or another. Well, in any case, they were probably getting all gloomy about some memory, but still. Hey, so Kotori isn't crying, so that's unexpected.
こっちは準備 OK よ。
I'm sure it's because, well, we know that we're going to a much better place, so it makes sense to pack up and move.
待って待って。
So in a rush, Kotori grabs the picture frame from the top of the desk, and one picture was of the morning glory. And the other one is all of us from last summer after our final flight. And another one was the picture that we had taken just yesterday with everybody after flying the morning glory. So now with the twins, Asa and Yoru.
それ壁掛けにした方がいいかもね。そうね。もっと大きく引き伸ばして。
Alright, so, well then, here we go. So at first, so we found a new place quite easily. So at first, the school wanted to build a garage right next to the runway. Well, they already had a contract for the land near the runway. And they were even thinking about building and managing the glider as part of the curriculum. But before that, we found an even better place. And the place is here. So once again, the dock that the twins own. And this was in the common route. Or the second part of the common route, divergence routes. Asa and Yoru got here first and had started getting things ready.
さあどうぞ入ってください。
So this place is really big. And the size of the place is overwhelming once you go inside. So when I came to check the place out, I was surprised by the size and facilities.
いやあ来たか。
So Amane got here first and was also inspecting the glider.
ねえ朝、本当にこんなとこ借りちゃっていいの？
So is it okay for us to use this place?
ええ、構いませんよ。ソアリング部のお役に立てるなら。祖父がいいって言ってるんだから何も問題ないわ。
So the gorgeous dock apparently belongs to Asa and Yoru's grandpa, that is, the chairperson of the board of Keifu Academy. And it hadn't been used in a long time, so it's just going to waste. If it could be used of any use to a school club, he would lend it to us for free.
ずいぶん本格的な設備だよね。あ、さあ。
Let's see, hold on, I went too fast again.
ずいぶん本格的な設備だよね。朝ちゃんのおじいさん、ここで何してたんだろう。
Okay. So at any rate, as far as the new places go, there's no doubt this was the best. And although it's a little far from the runway, we'll carry the glider on the trailer as always. And our new advisor Yamanobe Sensei will drive it for us. Okay, so he's back. So actually the visor changed from Amane back to the old visor, Yamanobe Sensei. Okay. So Tomioka asks Yamanobe Sensei to do so. So he finally agrees that, okay, I'll let the Soaring Club fly. Well, it's not like he's trying to interfere, he generally felt it was necessary. And Amane had some childlike qualities, so she isn't really suited to be in a position of responsibility. So she took the role of director, or like the expert person for the Soaring Club. So what else do we have? So what are you doing? So Director Mochizuki groans while looking at the glider.
いやな、コックピットを改造できないかと思って。
So the cockpit, so what is it now?
ちょっと調べてみたら、海外製のコックピットに新商社用のものがあったんだ。ラダーをペダルの代わりにレバーで操作するんだが。
Then maybe...
あ、小鳥でも操縦可能になる。
So it'll be good for Kotori to fly on it. Hey, So Amane covers my mouth. It's like, no, don't let Kotori know about this yet.
まだ言っちゃダメだ。もう少し検証してみないとできるかわからないからな。
So it's not confirmed. It might work, but I see. So we don't want to get her hopes up for nothing. And if that happens, she would get depressed. But if we had that, even Kotori could pilot this.
はあ、きっと喜ぶぞ。
No doubt.
さあ、だらだらやってないで、さっさと引っ越し済ませるわよ。
So Kotori did hear, it's like, well, if it is possible, then make it happen then.
んでもって、明日のフライトの準備、特別ゲストも来るんだからね。おー。
未来の話をしよう。ある一人の少女が夢見た未来の話。その時はまだそれはただの夢でしかなかった。夢は憧れるもの、見上げるもの。この空と同じ。けれどいつしかそれは目標となった夢を実現させようとする仲間たちを得て。
Okay, so that was a pretty nice dialogue, except for the fact that it was white text against a light background, so it's hard to read. So anyways, it looks like I was back up in the air, and I wonder what's going on. So he's like, so how is it? So seeing Kazigura from the sky.
最高だね。
Okay, so Isuka's the passenger. I know, right?
この子、いい機体だね。飛び方が素直だ。
Oh yeah, so you got a pilot license too. Don't you, Isuka?
一応ね、もう全然乗っていなかったから忘れちゃってるけど。
Well, I do have one, but it's been many years since I've flown, so my skills are kind of rusty, so I'm not really good at flying. So, do you want to try piloting this?
いいの？
Can I? Well, after all, this is the glider that you girls try to build. So it's the same glider from many years ago. The same glider that you saw in the beginning, and we just took it and modified it and revised it.
じゃあ、サポートしてもらっていいかな？
Okay, but you'll have to support me. Well, no trouble at all.
あまねのやつ、いい子彼氏にしたな。
So did you say something?
なんでも。
No? Hey, Ageha, can you hear me? Says call on the radio.
こちらアゲハ、聞こえてるよ。
Oh, so I'm giving control over to Isuka.
そうなの？了解。
Okay then. Alright then, so she's all yours.
よーし行くぞ
ー Okay, so it looks like Isuka is piloting the glider very strange, and it's making Aoi nervous.
少女は挫折し夢はついえたかに思えたけれど本物の思いは人を突き動かすまた別の少女がその夢に触れ受け継いだ何イスカさんが操縦してるの
Okay, so Kotori can sense that, this is not how Aoi-kun usually pilots the glider, so it must be the other person, which is Isuka.
そうみたい
Yeah, and it looks like it.
なんかすごい動きしてますよ
And I hope Aoi is okay with this.
墜落してこないでしょうね大人になって落ち着いたみたいに言ってたけどいろいろフリーダムな人だな
So I guess this is how Isuka is like.
いいな私も早く操縦してみたいねえあまねちゃんそうだな
So what is it?
ちょっと設計図書いてくれるんでしょ
Oh, okay, so it looks like Kotori heard about the modified cockpits. Like, so are you going to make one for me then, so I can fly too?
時間があるときにな
Well, someday.
早く暇になって
Well, please hurry up because I want to fly ASAP. Well?
見上げているだけでは空を飛ぶことはできない空を飛ばなければそこから見える景色を知ることはできないそれはひたむきに夢を追いかけ一途に飛びたいと願った彼らへのご褒美気持ちよさそうだな
But anyways, right now, Amaya wants to enjoy herself. It's like, well, I'm just gonna be in the field looking at the glider and the scenery.
いつか夢見た未来が現実になった時すべての過去は報われる無駄になることを恐れていては決してたどり着けない未来彼らは今そこにいるこの大空に翼を広げて
And the end. The end of Amani's route in If My Heart Had Wings. And with that in mind, this is the end of Amani's route. And if you look at the background, it's changed because I actually played Amani's route last. And once you complete all the routes in If My Heart Had Wings, the background changes to the Morning Glory instead of the windmill hill that you first see. So anyways, my thoughts about Amai's route. So I do like this route, and I do feel that this route is also as important as Kotori's route, even though we don't really see Amai that much. And Amai wasn't really that important in the very beginning when Aoi first moved back to Kazugura, but she does provide a very important role part way through the beginning, and it's because she has the key to convince Kotori to stay at Keifu Academy, and it's the glider. And my big favorite about this route is that we get to see like the behind the scenes parts in Amai's route. So in the common route, if you remember, Amane kept mentioning Isuka starting when Aoi gave Amane all the repair parts that Amane could not repair, And when she got the parts, she was so happy, and then she started mentioning Isuka. And we keep hearing it to the point where the other club members were asking about, so who's this Isuka person? And Amane couldn't really explain. And even Tatsuya couldn't do so either. But then in Amane's route, we get to see how Isuka played an important role. And she was kind of like the cornerstone for this entire soaring thing to continue. So Isuka found this photo from the past, and she really wanted to go to the morning glory clouds. But because of her limitations, she couldn't do so. And then she left everything behind. And surprisingly, the next person who took up Isuka's room, Kotori, she picked up the stuff and it got her interested, and she wanted to do the same thing too. And it's kind of interesting because Kotori also had some limitations. So Isuka had a weak body and Kotori was confined to a wheelchair. And they had the same dreams, and it was that got Kotori to consider staying at the Keifu Academy instead of dropping out and going to a school that is more geared towards her interests. So she's not really the engineering type that she looks to be. And then we also got to see the history about Tomioka Sensei and why he has a huge grudge against the Soaring Club. So it's not because he hates the Soaring Club, it's because he thinks that it's a curse and it's caused so much trouble for everyone. And he thinks Amane was kind of the person who brewed all this trouble up. But he was able to realize the truth, and when he saw Isuka still alive, still okay, still well, he kind of relented, and we ended up having a soaring club that he's okay with, and not having to work around all the regulations, work around his anger. So anyways, I'm not going to start the Flight Diary fan disc yet, and I think we will see more about Isuka in the Flight Diary fan disc, and maybe a little bit more about Amane's history. So, with regards to the romance, I do feel that's a little weird because Amane is much older than Aoi, and being with someone that's much older does feel kind of weird to me. But then again, this is a visual novel, so I can't really say much. But anyways, that in mind, I'll see you in a future novel on a future game.